Maurice,
Yes, ma'am.
can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right, technical issues this morning. It's a Monday.
Chairwoman needs help too, Maurice. So just send it again, right?
I'm sorry, what?
I don't see Kelly on here yet. She just texted me. I'll send it again to her too.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, can you hear me? I'm blacked out as neighbor 793.
We can hear you.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, did everybody get on?
I think so. Hope so.
All right. Let's get it cracking.
Good morning. Thank you. My name is Liz Kukla. I'm the Secretary of the Board of Zoning Appeals, and I'm going to read the preamble for you this morning, this August 1st, 2022. In compliance with notification requirements of the city's open meeting law in section 101.021 of the codified ordinances of Cleveland, Ohio, 1976, notice of this meeting has been publicly posted. All boards and commissions under the purview of the city planning department conducts its meetings according to Robert's Rules of Order. Actions during the meeting will be taken by voice vote. Abstentions from any vote due to a conflict of interest should be stated for the record prior to the taking of any vote. In order to ensure that everyone participating in the meeting have the opportunity to be heard, we ask that you use the raise hand feature before asking a question or making a comment. The raise hand feature can be found in the participants panel on the desktop and mobile version and activated by clicking the hand icon. Please wait for the chair or facilitator to recognize you and be sure to select unmute and announce yourself before you speak. When finished speaking, please lower your hand by clicking on the raise hand icon again and mute your microphone. We will also be utilizing the chat feature to communicate with participants. The chat feature can be activated by clicking the chat button located on the bottom of the WebEx screen. Please note that calling users can unmute by using *6. All meeting activity is being recorded via the WebEx platform. These proceedings are also being live streamed via YouTube for public view. We have provided a link to the meeting for those who wish to speak on our particular case via our website and email. All requests to speak on our particular matter have been considered. We have also received emails from those who have provided written comment on our particular matter. Back to you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Go ahead, call roll.
Ms. Barnes?
Here. Good morning.
Good morning. Ms. Brown?
Present.
Ms. Holzer?
Present.
Ms. Faith?
Present.
Ms. Britt?
Here.
Madam Chair, I'm blanking. Who am I missing? Barnes, Brown, Holzer, Britt.
That's everybody.
That's it. Am I doing the math?
Miss Faith, you got her. So
Miss
we're all
Faith.
good.
Thank
Well,
you,
yeah,
Madam
and
Chair.
there's a neighbor as well.
We're
You're,
just
for
you're
the
not
board,
a board
sir.
member.
You're
Oh,
not on the
sorry.
board.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry, thank you, Madam Chair. We do have one postponement this morning. It's the first case on your agenda. It's calendar number 22-112 regarding 3522 Clark Avenue. Charter Food, Inc. proposed to establish a new Taco Bell at this address. The applicant, there was an error on the notice of nonconformance. The hours of operation for the drive-through was not noted. So we have to repost this as soon as we can. Yeah, so we're not going to hear that this morning, Madam Chair.
All right. Do we need a new date now, or you gave them one already?
Actually, Madam Chair, we need to push this out to September, I believe.
Okay.
So let's look at September 26th or September 19th.
Let's do the 26th.
September 26th. Yeah, there are some internal things that need to happen as well, Madam Chair. I spoke with people from the city, so we need a little extra time. Thank you. That's September 26th as the new date for calendar number 22-112.
Great.
Okay.
All right. Maurice, any councilman here?
I don't see any. Unless there's
Okay.
somebody that's called in, I do not see anybody.
All right.
All right. I don't see any
So we-
either. So
Yeah,
we'll
we'll start with the first case.
Yeah, calendar number 22-127. This is at 4297 West 146th Street. Victor Lapa proposes to erect a 10-foot by 18-foot aluminum sunroom on an existing single-family residence in an A1 one-family residential district. The owner appeals for relief from the strict application of the Cleveland Codified Ordinance as stated in the agenda and the public record, of which there is one. And with that,
That's not what I have on my agenda for the next item. I have Union Avenue. Is my agenda different?
I have that as well.
I have Union too. Yeah.
all right. So I have a different agenda. So I'll read from the screen. Calendar number 22-123 is at 12101 Union Avenue. Union Social Center proposes to change use from hair salon to a multi-purpose center for classes and assembly use in a B1 two-family residential district. The owner appeals for relief from the strict application of the Cleveland Codified Ordinance as stated in the agenda and the public record, of which there is one. And with that, Ms. Brown for the oath.
Good morning. I'm swearing in all who are present for this case. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth? Please raise your hand, reply, I do, then state your name and your address, please.
I do. My name is Arnasha Reed. Do you want my home address or the address to the building?
Your address, please.
Okay, my address is 304 East 250th Street, Euclid, Ohio, zip code 44132.
Thank you. Anyone else here for this case?
It looks like we do have a council person here today. Ms. Gray. You're muted,
right.
ma'am. Council does not have to be sworn in, correct?
No, they do.
They do.
Oh, they do. Oh, okay.
Councilwoman Gray, you're muted and we need you to swear in to begin testimony for the case.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Good morning.
Good morning. We need you to state your name, your address, and say you do.
Councilwoman Gray, Deborah Gray, 11316 Lardette Avenue.
And I do. Raise your
I
hand.
do.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, we're ready to proceed, Madam Chair.
Thank you. History of the property, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The property was originally zoned general retail in 1929. In 1991, it was changed to the current two-family zoning. Madam Chair, there's one calendar variance in this case in calendar number 75-164. This board granted a variance to change use of the service station to, to expand the service station use to include a carryout store. And that would be including the sales of beer and wine. And Madam Chair, this is for a structure, a service station that was erected in 1959. And that's all that I have that's relevant, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. Legal standard, please.
You know what? I'm not sure that Timothy, who's substituting for Mary, made it back on. I sent him the link. He was having some troubles. Liz, did you want to read the legals?
Yes, I can read the legal if it's all right. Madam Chair, members of the board, appellant is requesting a use variance from the regulations of the zoning code. To obtain the use variance, appellant must prove that denying the request will, one, result in an unnecessary hardship particular to the property such that there will be no economically feasible use of the property without the variance. Number two, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights. Number three, that granting the variance will not be contrary to the purpose and intent of the zoning code. Thank you. Back to you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Okay, Ms. Reed, go ahead. Tell us what you like to do.
Well, good morning, and thank you for your time for the hearing. But I would like to change the use of the building to a multi-purpose center, which will allow entrepreneurs and startup businesses to be successful. I'm just striving to support and connect individuals from different backgrounds by providing a space that would help drive innovation, collaboration, and service while fostering a culture of community and relationships. I would like to utilize the space for financial literacy classes, networking events, product launch, private meeting, presentations, photography, and much more. This space is flexible to accommodate various small events, which will include different seating setups. I do see that there is a lot of opportunity to increase the community engagement with what I'm anticipating on doing. And just to increase community engagement, I would like to build authentic connections, give the community a place for just them, give them encouragement for success, and create engaging content. Sometimes people support brands that represent them, brands that align with their values and offer honest relationship and community.
Okay, so these events you will be having, and along with the other things you'll be doing in this building, what necessarily, like, what time will this building be open? I don't want to say like hours of operation, but when do you anticipate, like, the latest you would be doing events here?
The latest I would anticipate is it could last until about 10 o'clock at night. Because I know that sometimes, people may have different time zones in which they have meetings, in which, I work for the government, so it's like different time zones that people can have like meetings virtually, and then other individuals can be in that space, as well as if people want to launch their product. But that's the latest I would anticipate, 10 o'clock.
And that would be people in the building. That won't necessarily be, because when you saying events, are you
Oh, no, this will be within the building.
Yes, but it won't be like you're having, 30 people come over for some type of event or something. These are programmed situations that will be within the building footprint, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So what time do you think you would open the building?
At 9 o'clock, 8 or
9,
9.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Councilwoman?
Yes. Well,
You
I
can
do have.
weigh in. Yes.
Okay, yes, well, I am aware of the building because I remember when it was a beauty salon, and it was very active, very busy. And during that time, I never engaged into your salon at that time, but I know it was a good business for that area per se. But I do ride around throughout the community every day. And I've been up and down Union in this area quite often because I'm dealing with the beverage store up the street from you.
Okay.
And I visit them at least once a week because I have a extended contract with them for them to do better in that building and to take care of that whole area. So that's why I'll be over there. And I also visit Miss Bodie, who's right across the street to you as well. And I'm dealing with those apartment sites next door to your building as well. So I have not engaged with you as of yet, but during the times that I have been coming around the building, I know that people that live either next door to your building per se tends to have I don't know if there was a celebration there a while ago that they have loud music. They have loud music and a lot of people gather either next to your building or right there on the street next to your building. You know what I'm talking about?
You talking about the gentleman that stays behind the building?
Yes.
Yes, I have. I spoke to him regarding that.
Yes.
And I was telling him what my plans are, and
Yes.
he did advise that he will, bring everything in front of his home, so it won't deter individuals coming to my, into the facility.
Yes, because that's what I had seen. I seen a lot of activities on that particular right next to your building,
Right.
and I seen it a couple weekends and stuff. So when I drive around like that, before I intervene or discuss anything with anyone, I want to make sure what I have seen in that area to engage, to understand, to let the community understand that development is coming, and we're not trying to stop any activity, but those type of activities that's going to be on the street next to businesses that want to be economic developable or social in the community, that that would interfere with what you're trying to do. So that type of entertainment, he would have to take it behind his house per se, that interfering in what you want to do to move forward with this, with your new project. So since you spoke on that, I will make an appearance and stop and discuss, meet and greet him now, since I know he's not part of your business per se, and engaging on your property, with constant loud music, entertainment with his friends, because it got to be at least 15, 20 people that's like that almost every weekend. And
excuse me, Councilwoman, I just need to ask Ms. Reed a question. So this gentleman that the Councilwoman is talking about, is he on your property or he's directly adjacent to your property?
He stays behind the property.
So he's not on your property?
No.
Okay, all right, Ms. Gray, we have to keep the comments to what's going on her property.
On the property. Okay, it's just that, yeah, but he's right on the side of her property. He's on the side of the building, on the street, on the property.
Yeah, but if he's not on her property, then
Right.
she's not responsible for.
Right, and I
for
understand
what
that. That's why I asked, because I wasn't sure
Okay.
was that something that was connected. That's why I asked the question. That's why I made the statement.
Yes,
I want
no
to be
problem.
clear on how I can approach that. So that's all.
All right, so Ms. Gray, are you, Councilwoman, are you okay with the, what she wants to do with this building? Or do you need more time to discuss with her, or, that's why we had you on, to know if you wanted to support her project or not?
Well, I would like to support it, but I still need to engage with her just one more time so I can come to the facility, see what it looked like if possible, and just have a one-on-one tour through the building, and then I will move forward with her. But I just need that time with her.
Okay, thank you, Councilwoman.
Thank
Ms.
you.
Reed, speaking of that, have you spoken to any of your neighbors, direct adjacent neighbors, outside of the gentleman with the parties? Have you spoken to anyone else about what you want to do?
I was talking to the churches, because there's a church, two different churches over there in the area, in which they have no issues with it. They're pretty much excited about it, so we can bring something into the community. So.
Okay, thank you. All right, I'll open it up to my board for questions.
Madam Chair, was the council person asking for a postponement?
I didn't hear that.
She said she needed more time, so I don't know how she's gonna get it.
Yes, Madam Chair, Maurice Rowland, City Planning. That's what I was interpreting, that the councilwoman was saying she wanted to meet with her one more time. So does Councilwoman, are you requesting us to postpone this?
Well, I have not actually met her as of yet. This is the first time I'm meeting her on Zoom. And I was
Okay.
wondering, could I go into the building and just have a tour so she can show me what she going to do in the building, and we have a one-on-one conversation?
Councilman
Does she
Swan,
mind that?
if you want to withhold what you want to say until you have that, then you can ask for a postponement, and we can postpone this case until you have interacted with Ms. Reed. So if that's what you want to do, you should ask us for it.
Yes, I'm asking for it.
Okay. All right. So we'll postpone this case until the appellate has time to meet with the council. Councilwoman, can you give Ms. Reed your contact information so she can contact you to make an appointment?
Yes, I can. Give it to her now, or?
Yeah, you can give it to her now, or and then we'll make sure also, Liz, we can make sure that Ms. Reed has the councilwoman's contact info. But yeah, you can go ahead and give your phone number now, and
Okay,
then
Ms.
we'll make
Reed?
sure that she gets it too.
All right, Ms. Reed, is she still on?
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay, 216
Mhm.
857 0562.
Okay.
You want to call
Yeah, if possible, after the meeting, can I contact you?
today? I'm
Okay.
open today. I'm open after 1 o'clock. Have a
Okay.
free schedule. So if you want me to come in today and we could just do it today and I can move forward with this, I'm fine.
Okay, well today, I work from home. I work for the government, so I don't
Okay.
get off until 4:30. So are you available after
Yes.
4:30? Okay.
Yes, I can meet you at your place at 5 if you want, or 6.
Yeah, I could do it at 5 o'clock.
Okay.
All right, fantastic. All right, so we'll postpone this case. Liz, we get a date?
Thank you, Madam Chair. August 22nd is the easiest for us to turn that around for.
Okay. All right. So we'll put you on, Ms. Reed, we'll put you on for August 22nd. So you'll come back here just like you did today. And sounds like you'll have your business conducted with the councilwoman, and then we can move forward.
Okay. Now I'm gonna let you know, like on August 22nd, although you guys have scheduled, I'm unsure what I'll be doing, if I'm gonna be in the federal building or, I don't know how I'll be able to do the meeting, but I'll let you guys know if there's an issue. Okay.
Yeah. As long as you can log in to the Zoom link, we don't care where you are physically. So.
Okay. I just don't want to interrupt my colleagues and stuff, but.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for your time.
All right.
Madam
Thank
Chair?
you.
Bye-bye.
Madam Chair, we could push it to another date if that's better for her, to a later date, or.
No, I need as soon as possible because there is a lot of people inquiring about this. So, I just want to, try to move forward with this.
All right. So we'll keep you on for the 22nd.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Next case.
All right. Thank you, Councilwoman. All right, moving on. Calendar number 22-125. This is at 925 Spring Road. Chris Newinan proposes to change the use from a two-family dwelling to a three-family dwelling in a B1 two-family residential district. The owner appeals for relief from the strict application of the Cleveland Codified Ordinances as stated in the agenda and the public record. To Ms. Brown.
I'm swearing in all who are present for this case. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth? Please raise your hand. Reply, I do. State your name and your address, please.
I do. This is Chris Wynn, and the address is 925 Spring Road.
I do, and this is Lucas Reeve from 450 Broaddale Road.
I'm sorry, Lucas, where are you from? You got cut off.
My apologies. 4540 Broaddale Road, Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay, Madam Chair.
Thank you. History of the property, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. There's been no change in the zoning since 1929. We found very little on this address, only that in 1984 a chain link fence was erected. There are no variances on file and nothing of note in the more recent history. Thank you.
Thank you. Legal standard. We have an attorney yet?
Madam Chair, members.
Yes, we do.
There we go.
My name is Tim Kuhn, Assistant Director of Law, substituting today for Board Counsel Mary Cornerly. The legal standard is that appellant is requesting a use variance and an area variances from the regulations of the zoning code. To obtain the use variance, appellant must prove that denying the request will result in an unnecessary hardship particular to the property, such that there will be no economically feasible use of the property without the variance, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights, and that granting the variance will not be contrary to the purpose and intent of the zoning code. To obtain the area variances, appellant must prove that denying the request will create a practical difficulty not generally shared by other land or buildings in the same district, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights, and that granting the variances will not be contrary to the purpose and intent of the zoning code.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Nguyen, go ahead. Tell us what you'd like to do.
Hi, I'd like to use the third floor unit, which I built out when I purchased the property back in 2014, 2015, as a third floor unit, and I'd like to add a ductless air conditioning unit with a heat pump to that unit for the tenant, for the comfort of the tenant.
Okay, do you have ingress and egress for the third floor that's separate from the rest of the units? And when you purchased the property, was it just a two-family, you're converting it, or was it a three-family and you're trying to keep it that way?
When I bought it, it was a two-family with a bedroom on the third floor and an electrical panel, an existing electrical panel.
Okay, so you're actually building out the third floor into an apartment?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Mr. Reeves, did you want to weigh in here?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. I appreciate it. I am here this morning representing the Old Brooklyn CDC. I had a great conversation last the applicant. This particular home is located in an area of our neighborhood with a significant amount of double units, some multifamily units. It's very well located within our neighborhood with great accessibility and some decent transit as well. So a great place for multifamily living. As well, the exterior of the building on drive-by looks great. It's been very well kept. The interior improvements, as described to me in our conversation last week, are all very well and finishes. I'm imagining a very good living condition for the folks that are there. So the last thing I'd mention is it seems like there's more than enough parking. I think the applicant has done a great job to ensure there's lots of parking for their tenants so as not to impact anybody else in the neighborhood. And finally, the organization is happy to support the application this morning and hope that they're granting the special permit and variance for the applicant. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Maurice, are you representing city planning today?
It would be me today, Madam Chair. I would just echo everything that Mr. Reeve just said. As you can even see in the photographs here, these are all 2 families to 3 families adjacent to this house. The house is well maintained. They are providing parking. There's 3 spots in the back, for one for each tenant. So I would agree and recommend approval of these variances.
Thank you. Board, any questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Hearing no questions, Madam Chair, I move that we go ahead with the support of city planning and the endorsement and support of the CDC. I move that we go ahead and approve variance for calendar number 22-125.
Thank you. Can I have a second?
Board Member Holzer, second.
Ms. Holzer with the second. Go ahead, call the roll.
Ms. Barnes,
Ms. Barnes, yes.
Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Ms. Holzer,
Yes.
Ms. Spade,
Yes.
Ms. Britt.
Yes.
Calendar 22-125 is granted. It'll be ratified next week, and we will send the appellant a letter.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Wayne. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, moving right along to calendar number 22-127. This is at 4297 West 146th Street. Victor Lapa proposes to erect a 10-foot by 18-foot aluminum sunroom to an existing single-family residence in an A1 one-family residential district. The owner appeals for relief from the strict application of the Cleveland Codified Ordinances as stated in the agenda and the public records. And to Ms. Brown.
Thank you. I'm swearing in all who are present for this case. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth? Please raise your hand, state I do, then state your name and your address, please. Anyone here for this case to be sworn in? You're on mute if you are here for this case.
If you're on the phone, please press star and 6.
Can you hear us now?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, I have my right hand raised. My name is Robert E. Round, R-O-U-N-D. I'm the owner of American Patio Rooms in Akron, Ohio. My home address is 2958 Sherbrooke Drive, Uniontown, Ohio.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
And Liz, do you have something from the owner allowing Mr. Round to represent this case?
Yes, we do, Madam Chair. We have an authorization letter in the file.
Perfect. Madam Chair.
Thank you. History of the property, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. There's been no change in the zoning since 1929. We found in our Records Administration Office that in 1965, a permit was issued to erect a one-story brick building with a attached garage. In 1979, a permit was issued to erect a chain link fence. There are no variances on file and nothing of note in the more recent history. Thank you.
Thank you. Legal standard, please.
Madam Chair, members of the board, appellant is requesting an area variance from the regulations of the zoning code. To obtain the area variance, appellant must prove that denying the request, 1, will create a practical difficulty not generally shared by other land or buildings in the same district. 2, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights. And 3, that granting the variance will not be contrary to the purpose and intent of the zoning code.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Round, tell us about the addition.
I knew that the property line from the side of the house to the property line was 5 foot 6 inches. I purposely moved it over a foot, so we end up with 6 foot 6 inches from the new enclosure to the side lot line. Why the building wasn't at 10 foot, I have no idea. If you look at the other side lot line, it was 14 foot 6 inches. If they would have moved the house over 4 foot 6, I would have had the 10 foot on the right. But I don't know way back then why they did what they did.
So
My
essentially,
structure
you're saying that the house is an existing condition. The 5 feet is an existing condition of the house right now. You're just carrying the addition from that existing condition,
existing
correct?
thing is 5'6". And by moving it over a foot, I'm gonna make it from the side of my enclosure to the side lot line 6'6".
Gotcha. All right, Maurice? I think this is
Yeah,
where
Madam
you're supposed-
Chair, as, as you already figured out, this was an existing condition. I'm sure these houses were probably built with a PUD or something to the effect that changed
Right.
the default side yard requirements. So as such, it met code when it was built. And as Mr. Round just indicated, he is moving the patio enclosure actually a foot further from the property line. So he's actually giving himself more room than the actual house has. So with all that said, we would recommend approval of this variance.
Thank you. All right, board, any questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Hearing no questions, Madam Chair, I move that we go ahead and approve this variance. As Maurice noted, the appellant has made the condition to move the addition 1 foot further. So it's a 6'6" setback, and it's to an existing condition. So typical of houses in this neighborhood. So I move that we go ahead and approve calendar number 22-127.
Thank you. Can I have a second, please?
Board Member Holzer, second.
Ms. Holzer with the second. Go ahead, call the roll.
Ms. Barnes,
Ms. Barnes, yes.
Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Ms. Holzer,
Yes.
Ms. Faith,
Yes.
Ms. Britt.
Yes.
Calendar 22-127 is granted. It'll be ratified next week, and we will send the appellant a letter. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Chair?
Thank you very much for the consideration, and I'm sure the homeowners there are gonna be very happy. Have a nice day, all of you.
Thank you. You do
Well,
the same.
Thank you. You
Thank
too.
you. All right, moving on to calendar number 22.
Oh, sorry to
Oh,
interrupt.
Yeah, were you
Madam
about to
Chair.
say something?
Yes, Madam Chair, we have a case that was inadvertently left off of our agenda this morning. However, for the record, we did notify the proper folks in this public hearing. It is a public works hearing, and we are not required to notify neighbors for these. It is an administrative appeal. If you'd like, Madam Chair, I could read it since we don't have it on the screen this morning.
Yeah.
Well, Maurice does have a copy of the application. If you would be able to open that up in his email, that would be awesome.
Yeah, can we hold this until we hear the Starkweather case that's on the screen, and then we'll do that appeal next.
Sure thing. However, Madam Chair, I would state that we do have a couple of neighbors on the line that the Starkweather may take longer than what's expected. So it's up to you. We can do whatever you'd like.
All right, so you're suggesting we should hold the Starkweather until last. All right, let's go with the appeal. Go ahead.
Okay.
Or go ahead and read it, Liz.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is calendar 22-128 regarding 3858 Superior Avenue. It's Public Works invoice WO-701-0-1306899. 1530 East 40th Street LLC owner appeals under the authority of Section 76-6B of the Charter of the City of Cleveland and Section 329.02D of the Cleveland Codified Ordinances from the decision of the hearing officer dated May 11th, 2022 to uphold the City of Cleveland's Department of Public Works to issue invoice number W0-7010-1306899 regarding abating nuisances, specifically grass cutting at the subject property. And that's what I have for you, Madam Chair. And the notice is on the screen. It was just on the screen for you.
Can you put it back for a moment, please? Thank you. should I?
Yeah, you have to swear folks in.
Okay, thank you. I am swearing in all who are present for this case, calendar number 22-128. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth? Please raise your hand. Reply, I do. State your name and your address, please.
I do.
Good morning. Yes,
Natasha Brewster, 500 Lakeside Avenue.
I do. Kevin Crawford, 5785 Strathmore Lane, Dublin, Ohio.
I do. Ariel Kolk, 601 Lakeside Avenue.
I do. LaRonda Talton, 601 Lakeside Avenue. Okay, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Legal standard, please.
Madam Chair, members of the board, appellant is appealing from the decision of the body below. Section 329.02D of the Code of Ordinances provides in pertinent part that, quote, within its powers, the board may reverse or affirm wholly or in part or modify the order, requirement, decision, or determination appealed from, and shall make such order, requirement, decision, or determination as, in its opinion, ought to be made under the circumstances. And to that end shall have all the powers of the officer from whose decision the appeal is taken, close quote. Thus, the board may undertake a de novo review of the decision below and make whatever determination it sees fit to make under the circumstances.
Thank you. All right,
Good morning.
Mr. Crawford.
I'm sorry, I didn't swear in. I'm here, John Sissimus. I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead, Ms. Brown.
Okay.
Oh, John,
sir,
Madam
that's
Chair,
not his case.
that's not his case. That's for the that's for the hot dog vendor.
That's for
I
hot
had the
dog
hot dog
vendor.
vendor.
Oh, okay. Yeah, hold on a
on the
minute, Mr.
screen.
Sissimus. Yeah, we'll get to you.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Thank you.
No problem. Okay, go ahead, Mr. Crawford.
Good morning. Yes, my reason for appeal is we have a employee that's at that building on a daily basis that's responsible for, maintaining and also, cutting the grass. I'm not aware of a situation where, we've gone any length of time where the grass would be a nuisance to anyone in the area. And, we're basically cutting the grass on a weekly basis.
Okay, Ms. Brewster.
Yes.
Is the ticket saying that at the time it was not cut? Is that what's going on here?
Yes, it was stated that it was not cut, and Mr. Crawford stated that it was privately maintained, which he put that he have an employee that is contracted, but he didn't send in the contract stating that the day that the property was actually serviced, and he was sent a denial letter, which a hearing attachment form was sent out to him, which he requested a hearing on April 19, 2022, and it was scheduled for May 11, 2022 at 10:15, which he did a no call, no show, or never sent in the supporting documentation to support his claim.
Okay, Mr. Crawford, did you receive this notice for your time to appeal the case to Ms. Brewster?
Yes, I did receive the notice, but it was quite honestly I think I put that on my reply that the day I received the notice was basically the same day that I received the denial letter, so I wasn't even aware that there was an actual hearing that had been scheduled.
No, that wouldn't be correct. We do not send them out at the same time, and I send out hearings over 30 days in advance to give them time for a reschedule or appointments that is previously scheduled before I sent the hearing form out.
Okay, Mr. Crawford,
yes,
let's just say that was the case, but did you then call Ms. Brewster to try to reschedule the hearing?
I replied,
or did you just appeal to us?
I believe when I made the phone call, Bear with me one second till I get the name of the person that was on the denial letter.
I'm the only one on the denial letter.
And I'm sorry, is this Natasha?
Yes.
Yes, I actually spoke to a lady, Liz Coppola. I
That's from
apologize,
the
I don't- maybe-
BOZA.
Yeah,
Sorry?
that's here for the Board of Zoning Appeals. I was asking after you received the denial letter, did you then call Ms. Brewster to reschedule to appeal your ticket to her?
Correct. I did call the 216-664-2580 number. And
Whose number is
actually, I
that?
believe at the time I
That's my
left.
office.
That's
Okay.
not with me.
Right. So, right, Mr. Crawford, what I'm trying to ask you is this. You, instead of calling Ms. Brewster, you called BOZA to appeal this case when you probably had a chance to reschedule your hearing to appeal it to Ms. Brewster.
Well, I'm reading the hearing denied notice, and at the very bottom it says you may further appeal the decision of the Board of Zoning Appeals within 30 days of decision by calling 614-664-2580. That's the phone number I called. Now, Natasha's name is at the bottom with her signature, but
And my number is on the top of every single page.
Numbers.
Yeah, so Mr. Crawford, yeah, you could have, I understand this might have been confusing, but you could have contacted Ms. Brewster to reschedule your hearing to give her proof of that you have someone cutting your grass. Probably wouldn't have to come to us.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess I apologize for that because the only number that's actually, I mean, I understand there's different numbers at the heading of the notice, but you know, in the body of the notice, there was only one number that was there, and I assumed that was the number to call.
I got you. Ms. Brewster, is anything else you wanted to add?
No, ma'am.
Thank you. Ms. Talton or Ms. Colt, anything else you wanted to add to this case?
No.
No, ma'am.
All right. All right, I'll open it up to the board for questions.
Madam Chair, I do have a question. It's, when the city employees are in the field, do they take a picture? You know, everybody has cell phones these days. Or do they just note, you know, in writing or somehow what they observed? I'm just wondering what's the, how do they document it?
Yeah, Ms. Brewster, yeah, Ms. Brown is kind of new to the board with these grass cutting cases, so
Okay.
just give her like a
Okay, so-
very brief description of what you guys do.
Very brief.
Yes.
Okay, so now we have a new system in place called CityWorks, which require the workers to take a before and after pictures. That is how it is billed to the constituent. So they have to take the before and after pictures in order for it to hold. If they do not have the before and after pictures, I have to write it off because they don't have the support and documentation for me to argue to the board.
Great. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Any other questions, board?
Do we have those before and after pictures?
No, I did not send those before and after pictures because I just received this information that it was a hearing.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like Mr. Crawford missed a vital step by just calling Ms. Brewster to reschedule for his appeal to her. I feel like that was a vital step that he missed there.
Agreed.
Because as long as he sent in his support and documentation, it could have been written off.
Yeah.
If he had a schedule or a maintenance contract or anything of that nature.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, yeah, like, and as I mentioned, I apologize because there wasn't anything other than the one number in the body of the hearing denial letter that I received. I didn't realize there was another number that I should have called.
On the original form that you filled out, you actually checked both of the boxes that stated that you had to submit that support and documentation. You stated that it was an occupied structure and that you had a contractor. So you could have sent in a utility bill or a contract for a maintenance schedule.
Well, no, I mentioned that we have an actual employee that's at the building on a daily. Sorry, go ahead.
I understand. Do you all keep track of when the property is maintained?
I don't think we write down every day that we cut the grass or, do regular maintenance either inside or outside the building. No, it's just something that, when the grass needs cut, we send the people out to cut the grass.
So we could have came on a day that you all did not service the property.
I mean, that's certainly possible, but normally, we're cutting the grass once a week. I mean, it's hard to tell between different seasons and times of the year that, I can't specifically say we're always cutting the grass once a week, because sometimes it may need cut twice a week. Sometimes it could go 2-3 weeks without needing cut just because of lack of rain or anything else. So, no, we're not documenting that. If that's something that you would like us to start to do, I guess we could make a calendar and determine each time we cut the grass.
I think this is what you should have had for the hearing with Ms. Brewster. So, and that's, Ms. Brewster, is there a way for him to come back to you with this information, or is the appeal to come directly to you, is that lost?
It is lost once it comes to BOZA.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Board, go ahead.
Does any of my colleagues have any other questions? All right, hearing none. Madam Chair, I think this is a situation where, unfortunately, Mr. Crawford didn't pursue the proper channels, and I move that we go ahead and uphold the Public Works decision.
Thank you. Can I have a second, please?
Second.
Second from Ms. Holzer. Go ahead, call the roll.
Ms. Brown?
No.
Ms. Barnes?
Yes.
Ms. Holzer?
Yes.
Ms. Faith?
Yes.
Ms. Britt?
Yes.
Calendar number 22-128 is denied. It'll be ratified next week, and we will send the appellant a letter.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
I guess
Right.
I have no recourse from the standpoint that the phone number that I called on the, in the letter is the action that I took. I mean, I don't understand if it's spelled out in a notice that I receive a phone number to call where that becomes my fault.
Well, the recourse you took, sir, was to bring it to the Board of Zoning Appeals. And so now you have our decision.
Because that's
Right.
the
We
phone
understand.
number.
Right. We understand the process you took. It's unfortunate that you could have resolved this with Ms. Brewster, but you circumvented that part and came directly to us. And so what we have to look at is, at the time that the grass was cut, was the city arbitrary or capricious in doing that? And at the moment in time that they did it, the evidence is that they were not. And so unless you were able to appeal that with Ms. Brewster by showing, all the documentation, then you probably didn't have to come to us. But because you did come to us, we have to uphold the city's decision to cut your grass.
Do I have any additional recourse with the city from the standpoint that I'm
Yeah,
following the notice.
I don't know, Liz.
I'm following the notice that I received.
Yeah, after we uphold the city's decision, is that it? Can he take it anywhere else?
Can you just
No.
appeal to the Court of Common Pleas?
Yeah.
The appellant should consult his attorney about what rights he has to appeal from the decision of the Board of Zoning Appeals. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you, guys.
All right, we're gonna go to
Dark weather.
no, we'll hold that till last.
Okay,
We'll go
all
to,
right.
Mr. Sissimus case.
Oh, Mr. Sissimus. Yes, all right. 1 second here. All right, this case was postponed from July 18th, 2022. This is calendar number 22-126. This is the denial of John's Hot Dogs vendor's license RLUMF 22-00005. John Sissimus, aka John's Hot Dogs owner, appeals under the authority of Section 76-6 of the Charter of the City of Cleveland and Section 329.02D. Commissioner of Assessments and Licenses to deny vendor's license RLUMF 22-0005 based upon the input from Councilman McCormick. This was filed July 8th, 2022, testimony taken. The postponement was made at the request of the board to allow time to get full file from licenses and assessments and to confer with the councilman. And to that, to Ms. Brown.
I'm swearing in all who are present for this case. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth? Please raise your hand, reply, I do, state your name and your address, please.
I do. John Sissimus, 3120 Superior Avenue.
I do. LaRonda Talton, 601 Lakeside Avenue.
I do. Robert Knopp, 601 Lakeside Avenue.
Okay, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Legal standard, please.
Madam Chair, members of the board, appellant is appealing the denial by the Commissioner of Assessments and Licenses of appellant's request for vendor's license RLUMF 220005. Section 329.02D of the Code of Ordinances provides in pertinent part that, quote, within its powers, the board may reverse or affirm wholly or in part or modify the order, requirement, decision, or determination appealed from, and shall make such order, requirement, decision, or determination as in its opinion ought to be made under the circumstances, and to that end shall have all the powers of the officer from whose decision the appeal is taken, close quote. Thus, the board may undertake a de novo review of the commissioner's decision and make whatever determination it sees fit to make under the circumstances.
Thank you. All right. So we had a long testimony from before with this case, so a lot of the information we have already. So we postponed it to try to get more information about Mr. Sissimus's case. So Liz, can you tell us what we have in addition to what we have from last time?
Thank you, Madam Chair. We have this application in front of you. It gives you a better idea of the location. We do have another representative from the city. I believe he's from Sidewalks. There is a review that was not included in the last hearing, so that's more information for you as well. I believe Ms. Tolton might want to present this information to you. I would defer to her.
I can.
Go ahead. Thanks, Ms. Tolton.
Good morning, board. From last meeting, I believe there was a mix-up where Mr. Sissimus, his locations, where they were, because a picture came up first, and it kind of just threw everything off to where his locations were. So you requested the application to see exactly where he wanted to be. So this is the schematic that he included with his application for the requested locations. And The one in question is the first one, the Ward 3, which is kind of my example, and he just kind of scratched it out. That's the northwest corner of Lorraine and West 25th, directly across the street from the West Side Market. So this is actually where he wants to be. Councilman McCormick, he denied the application. I believe the specific reason was that it was within 100 feet of an established restaurant. I believe that was it. I don't recall. But in addition, the issue was brought up that he was approved for the permit last year, and that was another issue. So that's where we are now.
Okay, so if we go back to the application, so he used your example square as a location he wanted?
Correct.
Okay, that's strange.
Madam Chair, may I speak on that, please?
Yep, I just want to make sure we have all the info in front of us.
Okay.
So, Ms. Talton, was that all you had to present?
Additionally, Mr. Sissimus brought up that the location at St. Ignatius was approved, although that one was also within 100 feet of a restaurant. So there was a lot of issues brought up last meeting. But as a result of that, I asked the Mayor's Office of Capital Projects to go out and look at these locations, because at this point, there is no review for these locations. The onus is on the applicant to comply with the codified ordinance when they're selecting locations. And then the councilman, the ordinance specifically states for us to send it to the councilman. What their review is, if they go out, I can't speak to that. I tried to reach Councilman McCormick, but I couldn't get a hold to him or his assistant. But I don't know what their review looks like. But when the applicant submits the application, they're stating that they're complying with the ordinance and that none of the locations are in contravention of what's stated.
Okay, thank you. All right, go ahead, Mr. Sissimus.
Okay, I'd like to start first with the example box that Ms. Talton put over here that they said that I used for my location. This example box, and I wanted to ask them this too myself, is they used an example after I already had this location here for 4 or 5 years, that they start using this location as an example. And I don't understand why, when it was already issued to me to be working there. And I only did it and used that box there because that was my location at the time when I was putting my renewal in. So it kind of like made me think, well, why are they using a person's location already that was approved for many years as an example? But I overlooked it. I said, maybe this to show the other people that are applying on how it works. And how they came up with the West 25th area example, I don't know. But like I said, I had the location for a year before they used it as an example box. So that's on that part there. And
So to the board, I would have to go back. I don't recall Mr. Sissimus being at that location for 5 or 6 years. I only went back the 1 year that he referenced. So I would have to go back through our files.
I don't think that's.
I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm,
I don't think
I'm
that's
not
pertinent to this case, though.
Right, exactly. I'm not.
Whether the example box. We're not here for the example box. We're here to figure out why he was denied this certain location. So, Mr. Sissimus, do you have any more information you want to add outside of the example box situation?
I was just answering. Yeah, I do. I was just answering on what Ms. Talton said about the example box. But besides the point, I've been there for many years, and nothing over there that since I've been there and I had that location that I was violating anything because I was being approved from before, and nothing new opened over there, which is in 100 feet. I went by that location and I looked around, I walked over there, and I don't see anywhere I'm at 100 feet. And Ms. Talton said earlier too that if she did speak to councilmen or if they sent somebody out from sidewalks, who am I interfering with at the 100 feet? Which restaurant is it that I am interfering with or denying me in this? And also to close on, she was saying that when we do these applications, that we need to know about our 100 feet. That there was never sent to us to say that we have to know where we're at. Usually you do an application, the city goes out to look at it, inspects it. If they say that you're in the ordinance of what you're trying to do or what location you want and you're not bothering anybody, they approve you or they tell you it's okay. And then it goes to councilman to get approved also from him to sign off. I've been doing this for many years, over 30 years, and I know that the laws changed many times after that. And for me to be in business, I comply with these laws. And, you know, this is my living over here, which, like I said before, it's a seasonal job, but I also work in the wintertime too, outside in these locations to make a living. And it's very important for me to have this location, and I need you guys' support because the fact, like I said, I had it before for many years, and now I just don't understand why they can't tell me who am I interfering with at that 100 feet if it is. Because I went there and I don't see where I'm interfering at 100 feet. And that's, you know, if they could give me that answer or tell me who it is, and we could go out there and see that I am within that 100 feet, then fine. But then that makes it strange too that if it was there prior of whatever 100 feet that I was in before, how did they approve me before for that? I had it for 5 years, and all of a sudden now they don't want to approve it.
All right, thank you. Ms. Kukla, you did say we have someone from Sidewalks here.
Yeah, this is Robert Knapp. I'm section chief for permitting and sidewalks.
Okay.
There's no Bureau of Sidewalks anymore. Yeah, one of the things if I can add something real fast is that in talking with my inspector that ended up going out there to look at these locations is that he was slightly unclear on the exact location of where the vendor was going to end up being. And what we were going to ask on this is if we could possibly meet with the vendor at each of the locations so we can know specifically where they're planning on going so that way my inspector can go and fill out the inspection form adequately, based on the location. Because when they went out there, at some of the locations there was some construction going on, and my inspector seemed to be unclear a little bit about these specific locations. If we can ask that, I would appreciate that.
I think that's a great resolution for right now, is to make sure that the location he wants, is being properly vetted. So we can definitely, I won't dismiss it. We'll just postpone this for a while. So you all can work with Mr. Sissimus to see exactly where this location is. And then hopefully you can make a resolution that won't have to come back to us. So
Madam Chair, may I just say one thing? I appreciate what your guys' decision is, well, not decision, at least to meet with the city official, is the fact that since the time this is denied and this is my living, I can't take a cart there to work. And, I'm losing, my living from not being able to take a cart out. And I've been patient and I try to reach out to the councilman to find out why and maybe eliminate this appeal that I'm doing here. And I wasn't fortunate to reach through him either. And
yeah, I think no one was able to get to the councilman beforehand. But I think before you finish, Mr. Knopf, how quick do you think you can get out there to look at this?
Well, if I can have the applicant's information, I can go and what I'll do is I'll try to meet with him with my sidewalk superintendent, and we could probably do it. Looks like Wednesday I'm pretty free, and Wednesday would be the best. Wednesday morning, if he's available, I can end up going in.
Madam Chair, I work a hot dog stand myself too. Under the circumstances with COVID and with trying to find help for work, I have to work a hot dog stand, and that's my living. And today, again, I wasn't able to work because I wanted to make sure I was here for this meeting, and I'm losing when I don't work out on the street and it's seasonal.
Mr. Smith, yeah, I completely understand that, but I think this is the best course for you to make sure that this will give you the position that you need to, to come back to us to make sure that we have the exact location to where you want to work. And if it comes out to where, you've been getting approved this whole time, and because everyone is looking at this from, they have the wrong location in this application, this will be better for you. And I completely understand and sympathize with the fact that you're losing money on this. But I think this is the best way, and they're willing to come out in the next couple of days to make sure that everything, is correct. So,
Can I ask?
just work.
Can I ask this? And since today I took off again today, is there any way that he can meet me there today after this meeting? I could go over there and meet him, so I don't have to lose again.
That's how I was just going to say. I could try to arrange it. We can try to meet today.
Okay, I mean,
Mr. Smith, go. Mr. Knopf, do you need his number or vice versa? How does this go?
If I could have his numbers, I can give him a call, and I can go and get it set up.
All right, Mr. Smith, give him your phone number.
216-322-3421.
216-322-3421, correct?
Right.
Okay, I'll give you a call as soon as this is over.
Okay, I appreciate it.
All right, great. Thank you for working with him on that. And then Liz, we'll put another date on the calendar just in case he comes back, but I have a feeling this will be resolved. So.
Well, Madam Chair, he would probably still need sign off from Councilman McCormick, or did I miss some discussion about that?
They're looking at the location to make sure that what is on the application is what's actually going on out in the street. So, we'll postpone this case. So I think we can all get the proper information about where exactly it is, because there could be a mistake. So,
okay, August 15th. August 8th would be very hard. We would have to repost it today somehow. And so
okay.
August 15th is the best.
Well, yeah, we'll make it the 15th. But hopefully we can resolve this before then. They can resolve it before then.
Well, can I ask one question though, Madam Chair, before we go? Since the case is that you're saying that the location of the mix-up of where it's supposed to be, how did Councilman McCormick deny this, and with what information did he deny it with?
Mr. Smith, that's what we all wanted to know, but no one's been able to get.
Ms. Talton is in the license assessments. Did they tell him that I was not in the correct ordinance, and that's why he denied it, or where did he get that information from to deny it? Who told him if he didn't go out there to say that he's not allowed to be there?
Yeah, I don't think any of us can speak for him. That's why we all wanted to speak.
Well, no, I'm saying maybe Talton.
No, Ms. Talton cannot speak for Councilman McCormick.
No, but the license and assessments tell Councilman McCormick that I wasn't in the area. How did Mr. McCormick say that I was in that area of the 100 feet? You're saying that's why he denied it.
He's probably looking at the X at the corner across from the West Side Market.
Oh, okay.
But we don't know. That's what he had to in front of him.
Okay.
All right.
You just want to make sure he has all the, everyone has all the right information about the exact location. So wait on the call from Mr. Knopf, and then you guys can go from there.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Next case.
All right. We are moving on to Starkweather. This case was postponed from June 13th, 2022. This is calendar number 22-096 at 793 Starkweather Avenue. Kumher Sasma, owner, proposes to construct a new 3-story, 3,860 square foot, 2-dwelling unit house. The appellant appeals for relief from the strict application of the Cleveland Codified Ordinances as stated in the agenda and the public record, of which there are 5. Of note, the postponement was made at the request of the councilman to allow time for community review. And with that, to Ms. Brown.
I'm swearing in all who are present for this case. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth? Please raise your hand, state I do, then also state your name and your address, please.
I do. My name is David Mikolajczyk, and my property is 768 Brayton Avenue.
I do. My name is Jumho Shashmaz, or Drew, and my address is 24451 Letchworth Road.
Anyone else for this case?
Are members of the public allowed to comment, or do they need to swear in?
Everyone who wants to comment has to be sworn in.
Okay, I guess I'll swear in.
Thank you.
My
Go
name's
ahead.
Cade McCaslin. Address is 2018 Center Street, Cleveland, Ohio.
Thank you. Anyone else? Madam Chair.
Thank you. History of the property, please. Liz, I think you're muted.
I've got control now. Go ahead.
Liz is still muted.
Liz, you're muted. You're still muted. Liz, quit clicking on the.
She is
I
having
gave
some
her.
issues, guys.
Hold on a second.
Here we go. Thank you. There's been no change in the zoning since 1929. In our records administration office, we found that in 1982, a permit was issued to demolish a 3-family dwelling. There are no variances on file and nothing of note in the more recent history. Thank you.
Thank you. Legal standard, please.
Madam Chair, members of the board, appellant is requesting area variances from the regulations of the zoning code. To obtain the area variances, appellant must prove that denying request 1 will create a practical difficulty not generally shared by other land or buildings in the same district. 2, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights. And 3, that granting the variance will not be contrary to the purpose and intent of the zoning code.
Thank you. All right, who will be the spokesperson for this case?
I think that might be me, the owner.
All right, go ahead, tell us what you like to do.
So basically, this is a typical Tremont lot. It's 30 by 80. There's no property on it at this point. I guess it was demolished some decades ago. We bought this last year, and I'm a local business owner there in Tremont, and we're looking to build a 2-family home on this. It's zoned 2-family. We are basically looking to, our kids are about to go to college, so we're looking to locate into the city. And our architect has done a nice job drawing this up. But there are some variances that we need. And I'm not sure, we did go through the local block club, so we have the block club support. And we also went through the Cleveland Economic Development Committee, and we do have their support as well. And I think it will be a great addition to the neighborhood.
All right, can you go through the variances you needed, please?
Is that me?
Yes.
Okay, so there's 5 variances that is on the list. The first one being basically the lot being small. minimum 6,000 square feet lot is required. However, you know, this is probably a typical problem with these Tremont lots. The second one is that attached garage must be in rear half of the lot, where we are proposing a front-loading garage attachment. The third one being minimum 3 feet interior side yards required. We are looking to do 3 feet side yard setback on one side, but we are hoping to get a 1 foot side yard setback on the other side where there's a driveway of the neighbor. And then I think the backyard requirement is 20 feet, but we're looking to do a patio backyard there, like a stone backyard or with grass, or maybe more of a city landscape backyard with 10 feet setback. Those are the variances.
Great, thank you. And we saw,
there's a fifth one called approval of the.
yeah, don't worry about that one.
Okay.
All right, Maurice, I saw the letters from the Black Club and, well, from the CDC, from Mr. Reardon, that they approved this.
Yes, ma'am. They do have a couple questions here. The plans show a third floor kitchenette that implies 3 units. I guess to the applicant, could you respond to that?
Of course.
Is it 3 units, or why is there a kitchenette on the third floor? I'm assuming it's like a wet bar or something, but you can explain.
Of course. This came up at the Block Club meeting as well. Basically, the second and third floor we kind of designed for ourselves. The third floor has a really nice, like a deep balcony or deck. And we thought that having a kitchenette there might be helpful for parties and things like that. As far as whether this would be a third or 3 units, it cannot, because the HVAC system is one for the second and third floors together. The hot water system is one. The staircase to the third floor is within the second floor. So there's no other entry to third floor except from the second floor. The purpose of the kitchenette is solely for deck.
Entertaining purposes.
Yes.
All right.
But there are 5 bedrooms and 5 showers and 1 tub.
Who's talking?
I am. I have my hand up.
I haven't called on you yet. And who's this?
I'm an owner of an adjacent property owner.
I know, but what's your name?
David Mikolajczyk.
Okay, David, hold on. I haven't called on you yet, but I will. So hold on a second.
Was he sworn in?
Yes.
Yeah, he was.
Sure was.
Yeah. All right, so hold on a second. We just want to make sure we have everything make sure that Drew has finished. Are you done with your testimony?
No, regarding 5 bedrooms and 5 baths, the first floor, which is a separate unit, is a 2-bedroom apartment, and the first floor has 2 bedrooms and 2 baths, and the second and third floor together has 3 bedrooms, and we have 2 kids, so that's only normal, in my opinion.
All right. Okay, David, is there anything you wanted to add there?
Yeah. For one, it's overly scaled for the street. I don't know if has anybody walked this street that's on the board, because it's adjacent to a park. It's 3 houses down from a restaurant. Right, you can see where Lucky's is. It's literally in 4 houses away from Lucky's. There's a park right there, and the one side yard. Where is that on this sheet? I don't even see that as on the variance on this new letter. There used to be
side yard is the number 3 variance on our write-up.
Right, but he's proposing for 1 foot and HDRS usually only allows for 3 feet. So can
That's why
the
he's here asking
HDRS
for, that's why he's
explain?
here asking for an appeal, sir. So,
Right, but okay, so here's all right, so here's a very, let's go to the simplicity of this. How do you remove the snow from those 2 driveways that you're now creating 10-foot driveways? Where are they going to push the snow? And also, your doors swing out for new houses. That is illegal. You cannot have a door swing out. So if there was a snowstorm or something and you push that snow there, that's a fire hazard. And that's the same on the other person's property. Where your door swings out on the side, we don't have a side view of this building. Where is the side view of this building, please?
Could I answer?
Is there a balcony over that door that would prevent snow accumulation?
And who is this speaking?
yeah.
Cade?
Okay, everyone, I'm going to say this one time. You have to be acknowledged by myself or Maurice before you can speak.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so Maurice, this house went through design review.
Yes, I believe it did, and it was it received approval from HDRS.
All right, thank you. Now, Drew, can you address the snow removal comment, please?
Well, first of all, yeah, of course I can. The snow, I mean, we can make, I didn't even realize the doors swing outside or if that's an issue, to be honest. The doors can easily swing inside. However, the door is not on the sidewalk. There's from the front, it's still, I don't know how many feet, but it's still like 10 feet in from the sidewalk. It's not gonna go straight. If you look at the view.
Madam Chair, let me just interrupt real quick. The door, whether the door swings in or out, as you know, is not a zoning issue.
It's
That is
not
a
a
building
zoning
code
issue.
issue.
Correct.
Right, and that will be taken care of by the Department of Building and Housing. So let's not even waste time talking about that. That's something to be dealt with by a different department, and I'm sure they will handle that. Sorry to interrupt.
I agree. I agree. All these questions need to be directed toward the variances that are on the sheet today. All
So
right,
what
Kate,
department is that?
that's building and housing, which this is not here to, they're not, that they've gone through, this house has gone through design review and the proper channels to get to us. And then once they start building, then building and housing will take over as far as to make sure that everything's up to code.
And also, if I may add,
go ahead.
This lot is about 5 properties away from Lucky's Cafe. Also, there's a driveway on one side of one side neighbor. The other side does not have a driveway. A lot of the older Tremont homes do not have driveways. So only one side has about 10 feet driveway. And that's the side that we're asking for a 1 feet setback because that side already has 10 feet. And that there's many examples of that in Tremont where a building is 1 feet away from the next door building. So we, there's, and the side view is on the plans. If it's that side with the driveway has no doors, no exits, it'll be just hopefully like a stone landscape, 1 feet of some sort.
Thank you. Kay, did you have a question?
No, I just really wanted to say that I thought this was a good idea, and I liked the proposal and wanted to express support for it.
I appreciate that. We don't get a lot of neighbors coming in to support. It's always
Madam Chair.
opposite. So thank you.
Madam Chair, to Cade, where did you live on the street? I missed your address when you were sworn in.
I live in Ohio City, but my uncle lives in Tremont, and we walk around the area pretty much every day. And I think that this proposal is pretty appropriate in context. Also to note that most of the houses on the street built would have to have, if they were built now, would have to have pretty similar variances. Even looking at this, you can see there's most of these houses aren't in compliance with the current zoning code. So it would be pretty unreasonable to deny the request.
All right, thank you. All right,
I believe David has his hand raised again.
oh,
I mean, I've
David, go
been
ahead.
able, I've been able to speak for about 2 minutes, so, and I've been patient, but, I mean, in all honesty, I've called snow removal companies about this, and I know that it sounds great right now, okay? And I've been in your seat, and when it comes to reality, and I'm, speaking from experience, pulling that snow and pushing that snow around, for all those cars that want to be in a house to the left and a house to the right, it's impossible. Once you get one big fall, where do you push that snow? I mean, you cannot pull it out onto the street and then push it back in. So you're just pushing the snow. Then is the proposal that they're pushing the snow all the way,
David,
pushing it?
once again, though, that's not issue for the Board of Zoning Appeals. So you have to keep your questions to the list of
It
variances.
is because it's a one yard setback. It's a 1 yard, so or 1 foot side yard. So I'm sticking right to the point. You're giving clearance for a 1 foot side yard when it's always been 3 feet. That's standard. This is not some crazy idea that I'm coming up with. You're giving someone a 1 foot side yard. It's not even on this new list, and that 1 foot yard that's going to create a problem when those people they actually have access to their house in the back. So how are they going to push the snow back there and then shovel an area and then walk all the way into the back? I mean, the snow removal is actually ridiculous on this. It is 100% incorrect. There is no way to exist Cleveland winters with the way of just proposing to just keep pushing the snow back. Is that what the plan is here? What is the plan? Please, somebody tell me.
Did you just use salt?
No.
Madam Chair,
Gentlemen,
David,
please stay in order.
Madam Chair, to the gentleman, David, do you live at one of these other 2 residents that flank this proposal?
I live behind, and yes, I'm legally allowed to be here because I own one of the properties in the back.
In the back, so you're not on the left or the right of this property.
I am not, but I have dealt.
Okay,
with
I'm just asking the question.
Okay. Yep. So, but I have dealt with this before, and thank God someone raised it because it saved me $500,000 because HDRS did not inform me of snow removal and how delicate of a process it is and how stringent they are on actually getting the snow out of there. I mean, it looks great on paper, but in reality, when it starts dumping snow and you're pushing and pushing and pushing, that snow builds up and there is nowhere for it to be pulled back out and taken out by a dump truck or something. It'll cost $1,000 if you bring a dump truck in there to have it removed. So all you're doing is pushing the snow back. And
so David, my question to you is, are you in opposition of this project because of snow removal, or is this just a main concern you have?
No, I'm in opposition of this because of a 1 foot side yard that I've never seen approved before. It's always been 3 feet. It's always been 3 feet. And these tiny driveways and the back yard, there's no greenery. So we don't need any green space anymore. I mean, we've always had green space in Tremont. You're across from a park. It's going to be the tallest structure on the street. It'll be the tallest gable on Starkweather ever granted on all of Starkweather, of all of the history. I've been here for 20 years. It'll be 42 feet. It is gonna encompass this whole area and make all these old cute houses look very strange.
Well, and for the record, they're not here for a height variance. So
okay,
we
I'm
can't
just
speak about that
saying
either.
it is close to a commercially zoned area and it's 42 feet at the peak. And it's the first time ever a gable will ever be approved. But the point being, if you want, I would really like to hear from Maurice here that has the answer for this 1 foot side yard, please.
I believe HCRS did take that into consideration, and we felt that it was a narrow lot, and we felt that as you can see on on the street, I mean, this is very consistent with all of the other houses on the street. There's a very narrow lots. The houses are very close to each other, and you are correct. We normally don't recommend approval on 3-foot side yards. However, we do make occasional variances allowed when the house is up against a driveway as opposed to up against another structure, because that way at least you've got the
driveway,
the distance, the driveway between the two structures. And I think we generally tend to be more concerned about that than the snow removal. I'm not saying that the snow removal is not an issue. It could be removed by hand, obviously. I don't think there'll be any problem with the snow removal for the gentleman that's building his house. It may, however, impact the adjacent landlord or the adjacent property owner. That's why I asked where you were located. It seems like it would be more of a problem for the person that lives on Starkweather. However, that person is not here today to object. And it was approved by the Block Club.
Madam Chair, may I comment?
Yes. Yes.
I appreciate what the gentleman is saying in terms of it may be more difficult to manage, but technically you have to manage it within your own property line. And even if it's a foot or 10 feet, you really have no rights on the other person's property line. And we just mediated and had a situation with a fence, remember, just a few weeks ago, where the gentleman would not allow the person to step 1 foot on their property line. So I understand your concern, but I think legally it's not for us to view that.
Can I just interject, because you are there is a side entrance. Okay, so you're looking at the house, the side to the left of this proposed property, they have a side entrance right there. So when you're pushing that snow, you are in fact affecting that person's ability to get into their house, which could create a fire hazard. And I hope this is on the record somewhere. I really do. So this is all being recorded, right?
This is all being recorded, and we have your opposition to.
No, it's not just an opposition. Can you please look and see there is there's an entrance on the house to the left where you're proposing that you're pushing the snow, and how are they going to get in that doorway?
Sir.
And honest to God, please.
David, we appreciate your comments, but you're drilling in on the snow removal. You've given us your opposition to this project,
can you just look,
as well as for the snow removal.
They haven't shown it on the plan.
Sir, the design.
Go ahead,
The design has been approved. So we're not here looking at the design anymore. We're looking at the variances that are upon us today. And I understand that you have a problem with the 1 foot, side yard, and that will cause issues with the snow removal, but that's not
and
what
the
we're
other
looking
side
at today. Yes, but
and the other side I have a problem with, and the other problem I have a side with, because there is, and they don't show it on here, but there is an entrance that's very important to them to get into their house that is opposite of their entrance.
Sir.
Okay, thank you.
And I mean, this is
Thank
just
you
one
for your
point.
concern, sir.
Yeah.
The plans have been reviewed.
And plans have been wrong. I'm sorry to say. I am very aware of that. They've almost cost me $500,000. They've almost cost me $500,000. So
all right, thank you, David. We have your opposition on record, and thank you. But we're gonna.
This is just the one point that I have about the one
You've made your one. You've made your one point very clear.
Yeah.
You made your one point very clear.
Understand? Do you even understand where the entrances are for the other houses?
Maurice, can we? David, we understand, and you're out of order. Do you have all the rest of the board members telling you you're out of order? So can you please just refrain from speaking right now, sir?
Yes,
Thank you.
Please.
If I'd just like to be able to talk about the backyard at some point.
Sir, we're moving to a motion.
Yeah, we're moving on.
Thank you for your statements. Your opposition has been recorded. You are, in fact, on a live feed, and we do have a court reporter who is taking testimony. So all of your opposition statements and your concerns.
I wasn't allowed to talk about the backyard. You're not even allowing me to speak about the
We're moving
backyard.
to a motion, sir. We understand your opposition.
Okay, well, we'll watch this snowfall, won't we?
All right, thank you.
All right, we're focusing on the variances that are on the agenda as stated for the public record and in the agenda that was posted.
Yep. So board, do you have any further questions for the for Drew, the homeowner, before we make a motion? All right, thank you. Go ahead, Ms. Faith.
All right. Excuse me. All right, Madam Chair, given the testimony that we've heard today, we have a voice of opposition. Those points of concern have been noted for the public record, and we all understand what they are. We have reviewed the plans. We've seen the elevations and the floor plan for the project. We are well aware of the situation in that particular neighborhood and the sensitivity to lot size and parcel constraints. That's part of our job.
You're not letting me
We have-
speak.
Excuse me, sir.
Please,
You're out
can
of
you-
order.
Yes, just mute or something. I can't. Keep going, Ms. Faith, please.
Thank you. So with regard to the variances that have been requested by the appellant, we've heard testimony from city planning. We have evidence from the CDC that it has been approved by the Block Club and the Economic Development Organization, and it has been reviewed by city planning and the Design Review Committee. So given all that testimony and our awareness of the constraints of the neighborhood and the parcel size in that neighborhood, I move that we go ahead and approve the variances for calendar number 22-096.
Thank you. Can I have a second, please? Oh, second for Ms. Barnes. Go ahead, call the roll.
Ms. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Holzer?
Yes.
Ms. Barnes?
Barnes, yes.
Ms. Faith?
Yes.
Ms. Brett?
Yes.
Calendar 22-96 is granted. It'll be ratified next week, and we will send the appellant a letter.
All right, thank you. Good luck.
Thank
Drew.
you all very much.
We wish the appellant much luck with the project.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Or
All
old
right,
business,
time
Madam
for
Chair.
old business.
Thank you.
All right, 1 through 4 without objection.
Without objection.
Without objection.
All right, then we have an affirmation here. Liz, what's going on here?
Yes, Madam Chair. This is an older case.
Yeah, I
As described here, they went to court and they were in the 8th district, and I guess they prevailed in the 8th district. And then I think the pandemic slowed them down, so they're still working to get the permits to build the structure. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm inclined to grant the affirmation because I already know how it takes a long time to even get to court and then how it has to
Right.
snake through the court system. So I'm okay with this affirmation. So without objection, board.
Without objection.
Without objection.
Without objection.
Thank you.
And then, Madam Chair, the next one is 22-53, 1807 Auburn. You probably remember that last week, this board dismissed the case because there was nobody there to represent, and we didn't receive any communication from the applicant. They did contact us midweek and stated that there was an issue with the representative having a death in the family. So they're requesting reinstatement.
Okay. I say we that we give them the reinstatement without objection, board.
Without objection.
Alrighty.
Thank you guys for
that
bearing with me
concludes
this
today.
morning.
Yeah, no, we were all right. everything worked out.
Yeah.
Yep, thank you, thank you.
Great,
Yeah,
great sport.
I didn't know how to unmute. I didn't have a mute button. And I thought you could do it with the space bar and that wasn't working, so.
What happened was I had to make a restroom stop and I passed the controls to Liz, which is what caused the confusion.
Oh, all right. Now we know. All right. Have a good week,